Hey everyone, welcome to Running Retro. Today we are going to be doing a disassembly and reassembly of a PS1 Slim at the request of one of our subscribers. So this is my personal, and pardon it not being as clean as usual. I haven't actually had a chance to clean this one. I just yanked it right off the shelf to do this. Alright, so first things, let's flip this sucker over. As usual, there are 6 screws. If you've never taken one of these apart, this screw right here will be covered by the sticker, and you will need to break through the sticker. So just be aware of that. Sorry about my hands being a little in the way. I've shifted cameras and the photography set up so that this will be a little bit easier and a little bit better fidelity, but I'm still learning the placement on this camera. And for some reason it also corrupts every single audio track I record as well. So but as you can see, it refocuses a lot less than the previous camera did, so we can do much better things. Flip it back over once the screws are out, and you just pop the top. Nice and easy. And here we have the board. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take off the ribbon cable down there. Now, I find it best to just pull that up a little bit and back. Don't overstretch the ribbon cable, and only grab that white tab right there. You don't want to grab the ribbon cable, you just want to grab that tab. Don't put any stress on that ribbon cable. You break that, you're done. You got to get a new optical drive. So grab the white tab and then very, very, very carefully just wiggle it out. I was pointing there to the lens. Make sure that as you're doing this, your knuckles don't hit the lens. You don't do something stupid like that, because that will smudge your lens and make it very difficult. We need to take care of this power cable next. So I take a flathead screwdriver, really small flathead, and this thing actually focuses on it. Isn't that cool? You're going to get underneath the edge of that tab. Do not pull on those wires. Do not do that. You will pull them out, you will break them, and you are in for a world of irritation at that point. So just get underneath the tab, gently lift up, very gently. You don't want to cut through the cables either, and then flop back to the other side, making sure not to damage that ribbon cable. You want to be aware of it. And just keep carefully and slowly going back and forth until it comes up. And it'll release pretty easily once it actually detaches there. There we go. It is taped down, so you do just want to lift that tape, and I just rip the tape. I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as it's being held down. And then take that and set it aside. Make sure that you don't touch the lens. Make sure that you don't mess up the ribbon cable. You just want to take it, set it aside, put it in a safe place where pets won't sit on or anything like that. So now we have this heat shield, and it's pretty simple. You're just going to pop that heat shield right off the top. It's not very difficult. Sometimes the board might come with a little bit, so just be aware of that, but it's not that bad. Yep. Now you'll note that the controller ports and all of that there, they actually slide and slip in. So you can see that plastic line there. You want to lift the board, sort of scoop it out back. And I find holding the power input there and the power switch is a good way to be able to lift the board. You can be a little stubborn coming out here, as you can see. You need to get above those posts, but sometimes it will just sort of lock into the controller ports and be a little bit stubborn. That's why I had to actually lift it up. And sometimes just setting it back in there and lifting it up. There we go. Now, the thing I found the most with these things is that power supply breaks internally. Sometimes the solder joints crack, but for the most part, those actual plugs break. I've replaced 3 or 4 of them. They break on those tabs and just on the inside pole. So if you don't have any power coming to your system, that's the first thing that I would check. You can buy replacements; they're not that expensive. And just make sure that it's the same measurement. Putting it back in, just drop it back in, but like fold it and just diagonally like scoop it back in. Make sure that it gets underneath those plastic lines. It's pretty easy to put the heat shield back in. Just drop it on, gently press it down, and you can tell which side you're looking at from where that tape is. For the optical drive, you want to put the ribbon cable in first before you set the optical drive in. That way you are not stressing the ribbon cable, you're not stressing anything. You can just gently push it back down and only use that white tab to do so. Never actually handle the ribbon cable. And then the power cable is nice and easy. Just get it in there and gently push it down with your fingers. And then slip that back under the tape and just put that there to hold it in place. Make sure when you're doing all of that that you are not putting your hand on the lens. You're just going to set the top back on. Make sure that you've got a nice line and crease on all sides, and then you're putting in your last 6 screws. Now, I like to do the cardinal corners, or the corners first, because I find like it holds it together better. I don't know. There's not really any need to do these screws in any order. I personally just like doing the 4 corners first, and then I do the center. And I do run the screw backwards a little bit to make sure that it's actually in the slot, because you don't want to strip out this plastic. This one's being a little bit stubborn. Once I did that, though, it got right in there. These screws are pretty tight, too. They're tighter than most consoles that I've worked on. And when I first opened this, it wasn't that way. Yep, nice and easy. Nice and easy. Last screw is in. And there you go. There's a disassembly and reassembly of a PS1 Slim. So thank you for joining us here at Running Retro, where we keep retro running. And please like, subscribe, follow us on social media, join our Discord, check out our website, come on over to Facebook, Twitter, and keep checking in on us. Join some of our live streams, and we'll have a lot of fun in the future. Thanks, guys. Bye.